Ah, so you're really tired of being rejected, huh? Tired of collecting no's like someone collects repeated stickers. And then you sit there, scratching your head, trying to figure out why the hell she sent you packing again. Wake up, my friend. It's time to face reality without all that need for advice that makes you feel good. You want to feel good? Buy some ice cream. Because here, I'm going to show you exactly why she kicked you to the curb. Do you want to know how to get inside her head and finally figure out what's going on? You better be prepared because I'm not going to go easy on you. In the next few minutes, I'll destroy those ridiculous fantasies you create and teach you how to rebuild that pathetic approach of yours. Want to turn things around? Then hold tight because it's going to hurt. But it's the only way you're going to learn. Let's get to it. Number 1, stop being the nice guy. Want to know why you get kicked around faster than a soccer ball? Because you're her ventriloquist's dummy. That guy who nods his head, laughs at unfunny jokes, and never ever disagrees with anything. You've turned into Mr. Nice, the one who thinks being nice is going to get you somewhere. Spoiler, it won't. Do you know where you're going to end up? In the beloved and famous friend zone. Congratulations, champ. Being nice doesn't make you attractive. It makes you boring, predictable, and even worse, unnecessary. You think you're being the perfect guy. The one who's always there, never questions anything, always agrees with whatever nonsense she says. Wake up. You're making yourself a doormat, the chameleon man, who changes colors to please. Oh, you also love that horrible movie. What a coincidence. Coincidence? No, you just don't have the guts to say you hate it. And seriously, do you think she's going to want someone who's a cheap copy of herself? Spoiler 2. No, my friend. Women want a real man, with opinions, with the courage to disagree, with the guts to confront, and not an echo that agrees just to avoid a little argument. This nice guy role is the fastest way to become invisible. Yes, you read that right. Invisible. Do you know what's even worse? Your kindness, disguised as trying to please, is pure manipulation. Yes, manipulation. You're trying to force a connection by pretending to be something you're not, with the ridiculous hope that she'll magically see you as something more than just the nice guy. Pathetic, right? Exactly. The reality is simple. Stop trying to be perfect because you're not. Nobody is. Show who you really are, with your flaws, your strong opinions, and yes, even your annoying habits. That, my friend, will cause friction. There will be disagreements, but do you know what else there will be? Respect. Because only what's real creates genuine attraction. Nobody wants a plastic doll that just nods. They want someone with flesh, bones, personality, and even imperfections. So decide, are you going to be authentic, or are you going to keep being the invisible ghost you've become? Number 2, stop being the king of desperation. You think you're hiding your insecurity well, right? Let me give you a reality check. You're not, my dear. That scarcity mindset, that pathetic belief that every woman is the last Coca-Cola in the desert, is obvious to everyone. And yes, my friend, they notice. Every time you send 3 unanswered messages, every time you accept that friend with benefits situation that only you take seriously, you're throwing yourself on the ground and letting them walk all over you. And you know what? That repels faster than a hailstorm in summer. I'll be direct. You're acting like this is your last chance to be happy. Like the world will end if you don't get that particular woman. And what happens? You reek of desperation. You're always available, always saying yes to her last-minute plans, always chasing her like a lost puppy. This doesn't make you more attractive. It makes you a pitiful case. Nobody respects someone who doesn't respect themselves. Your desperation is the perfect recipe for being ignored. And here's the cherry on top. Women don't want to be your whole world from day one. They want someone with a real life, with goals, dreams, commitments. They don't want a guy begging for attention, living for external validation. They want someone who has the courage and confidence to live without needing them. That's attractive. That's what screams security. Now, if you keep acting like every woman is the last survivor on Earth, get ready for a marathon of rejection. The secret is simple, but you still don't get it. Adopt an abundance mindset. There are billions of women in the world, and guess what? Plenty of them would be a great match for you. But as long as you're there licking crumbs, believing you have no other options, you'll keep being the desperate loser. Want to change the game? Start living like you're the prize, not the beggar chasing scraps. That's when the story will change. Number 3, create tension. Want to know why your relationships are more boring than still water? because you're predictable, bland, and emotionless. When was the last time you really felt that adrenaline? That famous knot in your stomach, that sensation of not knowing what's going to happen? That's what I'm talking about, tension. And look, that's exactly what you're missing. You think being predictable, available 24 hours a day, and agreeing with everything will turn you into her dream man. Spoiler, it won't. It just makes you the guy she forgets faster than she changes clothes. Now comes the push-pull technique. No, it's not about being rude or playing stupid games. It's about creating an atmosphere, suspense, a doubt. Is he really interested? Women don't want a guy who's always there, always ready to say yes, always dull and without a challenge. They want to feel like there's something more going on, that you have your own life, that you're not available 100% of the time just to serve her like an obedient puppy. Push is when you flirt, compliment, show that you're interested. Pull is when you distance yourself a bit, physically or emotionally. Like, you're interesting, but I think I only have time for one more drink. That's what creates the psychological game. Guess what? It's way more engaging than being the fool who agrees with everything and is always at her disposal. And no, this isn't manipulation. It's a dynamic. It's about having the confidence to not always be accessible, to not spill everything at once. It's showing that you're interesting, but that she also needs to make an effort to win you over. This dance between interest and independence is what keeps the fire burning. What makes her want more of you. Be the guy who knows how to create tension, who doesn't let things fall into monotony. Because being the predictable and nice guy will get you forgotten fast. Want to be remembered? Then stop being so easy. Number 4, value your behavior, not your job title. Oh, so you think being the boss will make her find you irresistible? You think your fancy title is going to change anything? Let me give you a painful reality check. It won't. Your impressive job, your astronomical salary, your position of power, none of that is the golden ticket you imagine it to be. Because at the end of the day, what really matters isn't what you have, but who you are. You could be the CEO of the universe, but if your behavior screams insecurity and a need for validation, guess what? You're still just another zero. The question here is, how do you behave? Do you spend your days trying to impress everyone with your achievements and possessions? Or are you the guy who, with that calm confidence, doesn't need to go around broadcasting his victories? I'll tell you a secret you don't want to hear. Women don't care who has more things. They care about who is more. They're looking for someone with inner value who doesn't need a pat on the back all the time to feel relevant. Do you know who's really attractive? The guy who knows his own worth, who has a purpose beyond collecting trophies at work, who treats everyone with respect, no matter who they are. That guy, who doesn't need to constantly prove his worth with job titles and salaries, is infinitely more interesting than the peacock who keeps showing off what he has. Want some advice that's going to hurt? Stop trying to impress with what you own and start showing who you really are. Your actions, your attitude, your character. That's what defines your value. You don't need a glamorous job title to be a man of value. What matters is how you carry yourself, how you face life. Build your value from the inside out, and then you'll see how it's worth way more than any number or title you show off. If you're tired of being made a fool of being the guy she steps on and then tosses aside, then it's time to wake up. Read the digital book in the description of this video. After reading it, you'll learn to be cold and calculating, to leave no room for disrespect, and to master the art of putting any woman in her place. Stop being a doormat, swallowing disrespect, and start being the man she not only respects, but fears losing. It's time to turn the game around and take control of your life. Number 5, embrace your masculinity. I'll tell you what your big problem is. You're trying with all your might to be the modern guy, the one who aligns with everything women want, completely erasing your masculine essence. And guess what? You're ruining any chance of creating real attraction. In a world where everything has to be balanced and politically correct, many men have lost touch with their masculinity. And that's making you as attractive as an old door. Here's a truth nobody has the guts to tell you. Polarity is what creates attraction. The more you try to be her copy, the more you end up killing any sexual tension. Women don't want a walking mirror. They want a counterpoint, something that completes them, that creates that powerful dynamic between the masculine and the feminine. That's what makes the spark fly. That's what generates that magnetic energy between the sexes. So, what does it mean to embrace your masculinity? No, it's not about being that outdated, aggressive guy. I'm talking about reclaiming that natural strength, that presence that is instinctively attractive, starting with your posture. Walk with your head held high. Stop looking lost. Move with purpose. Women want a man who looks like he knows where he's going, who makes firm decisions and doesn't get stuck in that, "Oh, I don't know, what do you want to do?" want to kill desire. Be indecisive. Another thing, your ability to protect. And no, it's not about being Marvel's superhero. It's about showing that you're a safe harbor, that when things get tough, you know how to stay calm and take control of the situation. It's not about solving the world's problems, but about being emotionally steady when needed. That, my friend, is what shows true strength. And finally, your sexual confidence. If you can't be direct without feeling guilty, forget it. You'll stay in the line of the rejected. Be direct, be clear about your intentions, but always with respect. Confidence in your masculinity is not only attractive, it's essential. So, if you really want to turn things around, stop trying to be the nice guy who understands everything, her perfect reflection. Go back to being who you really are, a man in tune with his masculine energy. Embrace your qualities and understand that it's that polarity that will ignite what you're looking for. Because if you keep suppressing your masculinity in the name of an equality that only kills attraction, you can kiss your chances goodbye. Number 6, always focus on improving. So you think you're going to take these tips, flash a cheeky smile, and boom, become irresistible? Wake up, my friend! The real world doesn't work like that, and true attraction doesn't come from cheap tricks or some magic formula. Forget the idea that you're going to turn into Mr. Perfect overnight. The only thing that will genuinely make you more attractive is real value, and that only comes from one thing: continuous improvement. It's no use pretending to be someone you're not, and it's also no use standing still. If you're not on a constant quest to be a better version of yourself, congratulations, you're falling behind. And before you start making excuses, if your motivation to change is to impress a woman, forget it, you've already started off wrong. The change needs to be for yourself because you recognize that being a better person makes you grow, gives you purpose. The man who strives to evolve, who doesn't get comfortable, who's always learning, that's the guy who attracts. Now let's be clear, there's no point in pretending. People quickly figure out when you're trying to be something you're not. Authenticity is key. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect, far from it. It means you need to have the courage to be real, to show who you really are, with your flaws and your strengths. It's this combination of authenticity and the will to improve that makes you a man of value. Want some straight-up advice? Set goals that have absolutely nothing to do with trying to impress someone. Develop new hobbies, learn things that really challenge you, grow because you want to be better. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to level up, who push you out of your comfort zone. Being honest with yourself and making this constant effort is what will transform you into a magnetic person. Want to be irresistible? Then instead of obsessing over what others think, ask yourself, how can I be the best version of myself? When you dedicate yourself to this mission, attraction will come as a natural consequence. Because do you know what truly attracts? People of value are drawn to other people of value. Simple as that. Number 7, stop asking for permission. Do you know what another fatal mistake you make is? Constantly asking for permission, as if you're waiting for someone's approval to live your life. Seriously, how many times have you found yourself asking, will she like me if I do this? Or, can I kiss you now? My friend, if you need to ask, you've already lost the game. Stopping the habit of asking for permission is essential to having posture, confidence, and guess what? Attracting for real. The issue here is simple. When you act as if you're always waiting for her permission to do anything, you're not just killing the vibe, you're showing that you lack confidence in yourself. You're being that guy who needs validation at every step. Women want a man who makes decisions, not someone who asks them to lead the interaction. This doesn't mean being disrespectful or forcing things, but understanding the signals, taking initiative, and stopping the act of walking on eggshells, fearing you'll ruin everything. If you don't have 100% certainty, she'll agree. Want to create attraction? Act with conviction. Stop asking, can I? And start leading. It's not about being arrogant. It's about having the confidence to know what you want and go for it. If you keep asking for permission all the time, you'll end up being that passive guy without personality. And then, my friend, the only yes you'll hear is the one that puts you in the friend zone. So, stop asking for permission to live your own life. Make decisions, act with purpose, and trust your instincts. Nobody wants someone walking around with their tail between their legs, asking for permission at every turn. Want to be respected? Want to be desired? Then stop asking for permission and start showing that you know what you're doing. Number 8, you're not special, so stop thinking the world owes you something. Here's the final blow, the punch in the gut you need. You're not special. Seriously, stop thinking the world owes you something just because you exist. Nobody's waiting to give you a prize for being nice, for doing the bare minimum, or for trying to fit into others' expectations. The truth you keep ignoring is simple and brutal. The world doesn't care about you. If you want something, get off your ass and earn it, because nobody's going to hand you anything on a silver platter. Do you know why you're being kicked to the curb? Because you behave as if just being there is enough. As if the simple fact of breathing gives you the right to be desired, admired, respected. But guess what? Nobody cares about your inflated ego. And as long as you keep thinking people will notice you just because you exist, you'll continue being irrelevant. You'll keep complaining, lamenting, and collecting failures, while others who actually put in the effort leave you eating dust. Wake up. You're not entitled to anything in this life, and the sooner you accept that, the faster you'll start doing something useful. Stop blaming the world, women, circumstances. The problem is right in front of you. It's you, your lack of action, your lazy mindset, your habit of playing the victim. Stop waiting for success to fall into your lap and start earning the things you want. The world belongs to those who have the courage to rise above mediocrity, who stop whining and face difficulties head on. If you're not willing to fight for that, great, stay in your corner. But if you really want something, then it's time to stop acting like a spoiled child who thinks they deserve everything and start acting like a real man. Life isn't going to give you anything, and the sooner you accept that you're not special, the faster you'll start building something that's actually worth it. Now get up. Stop complaining and start doing something with your life. Nobody is going to do it for you. Are you getting it? Or do I need to spell it out? At the end of the day, there's only one person who can change your life. You. There's no point in waiting for someone to come along to save you, to give you the answers, or to put you on the right path. If you keep that mindset that the world owes you something, you're going to die in mediocrity. Success isn't for the weak, the lazy, or for those who live complaining and making excuses. So do this. Look in the mirror and decide. Are you going to keep being the guy who waits for things to happen? Or are you going to be the man who makes things happen? It's time to wake up, ditch the self-pity, and start acting. Nobody respects a man who doesn't even respect himself. You want change? Then you better start doing something about it. Because as long as you keep thinking the world owes you something, you'll stay exactly where you are, at rock bottom. The game is yours. The decision is yours. And life, my friend, doesn't wait for anyone.